phone. Go live. Facebook. Live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram. Live on Facebook and we're live on Instagram. We about to pull up YouTube. We about to pull up YouTube. Oh, we're live on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not really a singer, but I like to have fun. Oh, we're live on Facebook and Instagram. We're live on Facebook and Insta. About to have YouTube up, boom, boom. About to have YouTube up, boom, boom. About to have YouTube up. I've been listening to gospel music all day, so I'm kind of in a mood. It makes me think of what's his name? Duran, and how he's like, take care of them chops. Take care of them chops. So you can do my own, yeah. Oh yeah. That's not the note. Oops. Oh, try again. YouTube's being funny, I can, and that's fine. I literally just came back from the grocery store. Like the ways that I impulsively chose this outfit. Normally, I pick out my outfit like a couple hours before. Nope, impulsively chose this one, and I like it. I've made sure I stayed in white today, which has been nice. It's episode 66, y'all. Episode 66. All right, let's get this thumbnail going for YouTube. What is happening? Let's just close out the whole thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Take care of them chops. Take care of them chops. Hey, welcome in. Take care of them chops. Take care of them chops. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome in. Welcome in. So excited to go into chapter 7. We're going into chapter 7 of The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents by Lindsay Gibson. Dr. Lindsay Gibson. Okay. If I can just get YouTube up and then share this stuff real quick, we will be in there like what? Swim wear. Bikinis, swimming trunks, all of that. All of that. We'll be in there. Please let the, oh my gosh. Why can my stream not be created on YouTube? Huh. I don't know what's happening on YouTube. Let's try it again. I'm gonna try it one more time, and YouTube might have to get the playback. Oh, y'all, I finally got a new phone. I've had my iPhone since am I not? I'm connected to the internet. Well, it looks like YouTube is just going to be getting the playback today. Welcome. No, we're not welcoming yet. Just going to go ahead and do this right here. Here we go. That's a notification I needed. Okay, anyway, let's go here. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I'm not even tripping. I ain't even gonna trip. Well, we'll see how this new time thing goes. Oh, I'm gonna give this one more try on YouTube, and then I'm done. Well, I don't know why YouTube's not working, but I ain't gonna trip. Welcome to Reading What Miss Taylor Said. My name is Taylor. I'm also known as Miss Taylor Said, and I started this show on November 30th of 2020 in an effort to complete some goals that I have. One of those goals being that I want to actually read the books that I own. I've collected a lot of books over the years, and I haven't read most of them. So I would like to actually read the books that I own because I'm pretty sure they're good books. Wouldn't have picked them out for no reason. So pretty sure they're good books. So that's the first reason I started the show. Welcome in. The second reason that I started this show is because I would like to get more comfortable with reading words, reading aloud in front of an audience. That's what I want to get more comfortable with. I'd like to get more comfortable with reading aloud in front of an audience. And the things that I want to do in my career are going to require me to read, speeches, cue cards, teleprompters, scripts, things of the like. And I want to get some practice in of reading some things the way they're supposed to be read and articulating them in the way that they're supposed to be articulated on the spot, So that's the second reason I started this show. And the third reason I started the show is because I would like to get more comfortable with public speaking. Performance since I've started. So, and I have another one coming up on May 30th. So I'm getting back out there. I'm trying to get back into the public speaking space. I'm getting back into the public speaking space. Not trying, I am doing. I'm getting back into the public speaking space because it's something I'm really passionate about, and I really love standing in front of people, talking to them and connecting with them. And 2020 afforded me the opportunity to be able to do that on the virtual platform. So I'm excited, I'm thankful, and I'm appreciative of you all being here. If you have not seen the previous episodes, please go back on Instagram, on IGTV, on Facebook, and whenever this gets up on YouTube, because I'm going to have to use the Facebook video for YouTube, you can go back on YouTube and see every single episode of Reading What Miss Taylor Said. We are on the road to 100. I do not have a projected date for the 100th episode, but we are on episode 66. And what I really want to do, and what I would really appreciate, is if you guys, just to help me out with the algorithm, if you guys can save, if you're on Instagram, if you can save my content to a collection, share it with people, like, comment, subscribe, all the things, so that and you know get some movement in the algorithms and such. And ultimately what I would like to do, because the reason why 100 episodes is really important to me, is because Kev on Stage said that if you want to make it, you have to do 100 episodes with little to no audience and be fine with that and keep going. So we're on the road to 100. We have a small audience, and that is perfectly fine because I appreciate every single one of y'all being here. We have a small audience, and hopefully by the time we get to 100, it grows. But right now we're at 66, and we're going to keep going. And what I would really like, if I can't get him on the 100th episode, I would really like to have Kevin. But we're going to send up the prayers. We're going to manifest. We're going to do all, speak it, because that's what I would like to see. Anyway, we are reading Adult Children of Immature Parents by Dr. Lindsay Gibson. And we just finished talking about what it's like to be an internalizer and what it's like to be an internalizer. The last chapter, we really went into the basically there's internalizers and externalizers. The externalizing kid is the kid that is the kid with the emotionally immature parent that acts out, that has a lot of external act out. The internalizer is the one that, keeps to themselves. They process everything internally. They try their best to adjust their behavior to make their parents love them or make their parents treat them better, when there's nothing they can actually do to make their parents treat them better, because it's their parents deciding not to treat them well, not the kid's fault that they're not getting treated well. So the next chapter is going to help us internalizers, because that's probably who all is watching this. It's going to help us internalizers break down and figure out what we're supposed to do so we can break that cycle. So the next chapter is called Breaking Down and Awakening. This is 7. Give me just a second because I'm cooking. Give me just a second. Just a moment of your time. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Who I cook all that food for? Ain't nobody here. Me. Lord, it's just me. Who did I cook all the food for? Anyway, welcome in. We are reading chapter 7 of Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. So chapter 7, Breaking Down and Awakening. This chapter describes what it's like for people to wake up from an ill-fitting role they've been playing for too long. This awakening stage often starts with a sense of failure or loss of control. Painful symptoms like depression, anxiety, chronic tension, or not sleeping can all be signals that old strategies to rewrite reality have become unsustainable. Let's say that one more again, because I mean, outside of the processing the parent traumas, right? And I'm just going to say, I'm just going to highlight that for myself. You know what I'm saying? Painful symptoms like depression, anxiety, chronic tension, or not sleeping can all be signals that old strategies to rewrite reality have become unsustainable. All right? Have become unsustainable. So these psychological and physical symptoms are a warning system telling us that we need to get back in sync with who we are and how we really feel. What is the true self? Is the first section. The concept of the true self, and y'all know here on Reading What Miss Taylor Said, here on anything Miss Taylor Said, because Reading What Miss Taylor Said is just one entity. Well, there's going to be more. Here at Miss Taylor Said, me, what my mission is, what my goal is, to help you be the youest you that you could possibly be, to help you be your true self, to do everything I can to give you as much information, give as much of my story, of my testimony, of my knowledge and wisdom that I have collected over my 29 years, however much that is, to do that so that I can help everybody that I meet be the, you as you that you can possibly be. I want y'all to be yourselves. You deserve to be yourself. You deserve to live authentically and be yourself. So let's go in. Let's go in because this is about to be my shit. Yes. What is the true self? The concept of the true self goes all the way back to ancient times when the idea of having a soul first arose. Human beings have always felt the presence of a genuine inner self that sees and experiences everything, but stands a little apart from what we do in the outside world. This self is the source of our unique individuality and is unaffected by the family pressures that mold our role selves. This inner self has been known by many names, such as true self, the real self, the core self. But all are the same thing, the consciousness that speaks the truth at the center of a person's being. You can think of the true self as an extremely accurate, self-informing neurological feedback system that points each individual toward optimal energy and functioning. The physical sensations that accompany experiencing the true self suggest that whatever this self is based in our biology as human beings. It's the source of all gut feelings and intuition, including immediate, accurate impressions of other people. We can use fluctuations in the energy of our true selves as a guidance system to tell us when we're in alignment with a life path that fits us well. When we're in accord with our true selves, we see things clearly and feel that we're in a state of flow. We become focused on solutions instead of problems. Things seem much more possible as we pay attention to our genuine needs and desires. Opportunities and people come into our lives that help us in ways we never imagined. We actually become luckier. I could definitely say that I'm a testament to this because I lived very inauthentically for a long time. I've aligned myself with people, like living with people that were reflections of what I was used to growing up in my home, like reflecting the trauma that I was used to, like, and the trauma. I always feel like trauma is a strong word, but then when I start talking to people about some stuff that I experienced, they be like, yo, so the trauma of growing up in the house that I grew up in, I just repeated that in the choices I made in friends, partners, and just the choices I made. I just kept regurgitating that. And then when one of the big first steps that I made as far as living as my authentic self was leaving my abusive ex in 2019. Then in 2020, I was furloughed right when I was about to quit my job. I was furloughed from being a travel agent right when I was about to quit, so I chose not to go back. I have not worked since then. And hey, friend, I've not worked since then, and I have chosen myself. It's not easy, but when they're talking about, they're talking about, what is the true self? When I started living as my true self, I promise you, and I'm not saying this is going to work for everybody. I'm not telling you go quit your job, because you hate your job or whatever. I'm not telling you go quit your job or nothing so you can live happy, because that may not be your path. But my body was reacting to, like, I was having physical aversions. Let's put it like that. I was having physical, mental, and emotional aversions to the stress that my job created. Even when we moved home, because I worked as a travel agent. And when I was a travel agent, guess what happened when the pandemic happened? The travel industry crashed and burned for a little while. It seems to be getting back up. But when I was there, it crashed and burned. Everything was canceled. Canceled, canceled, canceled. I already had difficult people I was dealing with, and then everything was canceled, and there were refunds and not refunds and credits and people that were sick, and this was supposed to be their last vacation together before, you know, all of that. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff that I was carrying. And all kinds of stuff that I was dealing with, on top of on top of dealing with workplace racism, on top of dealing with, you know, different things, like being in that work environment was killing me. It genuinely was killing me because I legit went to, like, I went to the emergency room from having a panic attack last May, around this time actually, last May, because I was so stressed out from my job. And when I chose myself, I never had to worry about anything again. Have there been hard times? Yeah. Have I had to figure out how am I gonna pay these bills since I left my job? Left, it's ambiguous. Since I parted ways with my job, yeah. But have like I truly I cannot be more thankful to, you know, my ancestors in spirit, and, you know, those that watch over me, and my friends who are my chosen family. You know, I cannot be more thankful because I was given a space to live as myself and be myself. And now that I'm being myself, I don't know why I ever chose to not be. I don't know why I ever chose to not live as myself. But here we are. I did the best I could until I could do better. Now here we are, and I'm going to keep doing better, and we're going to keep doing better. So living as your true self, I know it seems crazy. I know it seems crazy that if you just do what you want to do, the things that you want will come to you. Do what you want to do, the things you want will come to you. Is that a rhyme? Is that a rap? Is that a spec? Who knows? Do what you want to do, and good things will come to you. The things that are meant for you will come to you. But you have to listen to your body. And the People's Oracle, Dana, she talks about this. She's talked about this several times in sidereal astrology. And y'all don't have to be into astrology to get this message, but she was talking about attunement with your body, like listening to your body. Do you eat when your body tells you to eat, or do you eat based on the schedule that you have for your work? Do you drink when your body tells you to drink, or do you drink because you need to make sure that you don't drink too much water so you don't have to pee while you at work? Because when you're working, like, we won't even get into the capitalism thing, but it's like, we won't even get into the capitalism thing because, again, you're allowing your body to be harmed as a reaction to the work that you're doing. Then we have to start looking at, okay, is this job worth me dying? Because ultimately, the worst case scenario is that you stress so much that you die. So, is this job worth me dying? Do they pay me enough for me to be okay with dying as a result of the stress that's created? Because I promise you, baby, I don't care how much time you think you have, you don't. My dad was working at his job, working hard. And when I tell you, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody be a harder worker and more dedicated to making sure they did their job as my dad. However, then he had a stroke. Then my dad had a stroke. And guess what? Them people came and visited him for a little bit, but they stopped after a while. He still ain't well. Them people don't come see him. Them people don't care about him. And after a while, all the stuff, the benefits and stuff that he built up, that's after a few years of randomly not being able to come to work anymore because you fell ill. What does it matter to them? They don't care, ultimately. So are you going to choose yourself? Or are you going to choose this place of employment? And again, this ain't for everybody, because I know people that work jobs that love their job, and their jobs make it easy for them to be there. Shout out to the work environments that are accommodating their employees. Shout out, but are you willing to die in exchange for currency? Are you willing to not live your true self, live as your true self in exchange for currency and clout? Because that's something else that people exchange their true selves for. They exchange their true selves for like people's approval. And I mean, we've gotten into that in here, but are you willing to exchange your life for currency, for people's approval? For what? For what? Why are you not living as yourself? Why are you not living as yourself? And we're going to get into it. And this chapter is literally about teaching us how to do that. But let's just keep that question at the front of our minds. Why are you not living as yourself if you're not choosing? If you're in a space right now and you know when you're not living as yourself. You know when there's a dissonance between who you are on the inside and who you are when you're at home behind closed doors and you're in the bathroom in the mirror, and that person that you see in the mirror, like, you know who you are. Uncle HP, Uncle HP, he said today on Clubhouse. I only go to Clubhouse for one thing, and that's Rise and Rituals. And he was on Clubhouse today, and he said, he was like, he said, when you look in the mirror, go look in the mirror and say, and when you look in the mirror, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror? Because how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror is how you believe other people see you. So let's get comfortable with that person in the mirror. Let's get comfortable and love on that person in the mirror. Because they all you got. Like, you have people that are going to come, and some people are just going to cross your path. Some people are going to walk with you on your journey for a little bit, and some people are going to see it to the end. But let's not forget, let me have a nerd moment right here. Let's not forget, Samwise went with Frodo all the way through that journey until the very end. When Frodo had to go, no, I mean, Sam was there. Actually, Sam was there at the end. Sam was there at the end. But ultimately, it was up to Frodo to be the one to get the ring into the fire. It was up to him because it was his journey. Samwise was just there. Sam was just there to help and be support. But ultimately, it was Frodo's journey, and it was him that had to get the ring to the fire. You got to get your ring to the fire. Let's call it shadow work. Okay? You got to be the one to go on the journey to burn and destroy everything that is dark. Well, not destroy, because we embrace our shadows. But it's up to you to go to the fire and burn what no longer serves you. Your friends can't come with you on that. Your lover can't come with you on that. Your mama can't come with you on that. That's you. So choose to be yourself. You deserve it. I'm going to get back into this book. All right. What does the true self want? Your true self has the same needs as a flourishing, healthy child: to grow, be known, and express itself. Above all, your true self keeps pushing for your expansion, as if your self-actualization were the most important thing to Earth. To this end, it asks for your acceptance of its guidance and legitimate desires. It has no interest in whatever desperate ideas you came up with in childhood regarding a healing fantasy or role self. It only wants to be genuine with other people and sincere in its own pursuits. Children stay in alignment with their true self if the important adults in their lives support doing so. Welcome in. We are reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Children stay in alignment with their true self if the important adults in their lives support doing so. However, when they're criticized or shamed, they learn to feel embarrassed by their true desires. By pretending to be what their parents want, children think they found the way to win their parents' love. Let's read that again. By pretending to be what their parents want, children think they found the way to win their parents' love. They silence their true selves and instead follow the guidance of their role selves and fantasies. In the process, they lose touch with both their inner and outer reality. Child, we got to exercise, y'all. We got to exercise. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what this exercise is going to do. All right. Ooh, we need paper. We need paper. Hold on. Do I have paper nearby? I ain't got no paper nearby. Gotta get some paper. We're going to do this, I think. I think we might do this together. Let's find out. I got some paper. Paper. I got paper. And a pen. All right. So, okie dokie. So the exercise says, whether you're an internalizer or an externalizer, if you've been asleep to your deepest needs, your true self will use emotional symptoms to wake you up so you can start taking care of yourself. Your true self wants you to have the peace of living in accordance with reality. Welcome in. We are reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Your true self wants you to have the peace of living in accordance with reality. The trick is to recognize these signs of distress for the lifesavers they are. This exercise will help you become more conscious of your true self. You'll need a single piece of paper and a pen. Fold the piece of paper lengthwise down the middle, so hot dog, so you can see only one half of the page at a time. Then write a heading on each half: my true self, my role self. First, orient the paper so you can only see the half with the heading, my true self. Then think back to yourself as a child. Okay, so this is going to be a, y'all watch this and get it on the playback, all right? Because we not sitting around with all the stop people in front of me. Okay. All right. First, orient the paper so you can only see the half with the heading, my true self. Then think back to yourself as a child. Go deep and be honest. What were you like before you started trying to be someone else? Before you learned to judge and criticize yourself, what did you enjoy doing? What made you feel good? If you could be the person you really are and didn't have to worry about money, what would your life be like right now? I recommend looking back to who you were before 4th grade. Ooh, 4th grade was a terrible time. 4th grade. That's right around the time where it starts to suck. What were you interested in? Who were your favorite people? What did you like about them? If you had free time, what did you like to do? How did you like to play? What was your idea of a perfect day? What really raised your energies? Write down your thoughts about this in no particular order as they come to you beneath the heading, my true self. Okay? When you finish that list, flip over the paper to the half with the heading, my role self. Contemplate who you've had to become in order to feel admired and loved. Are you now involved in things that you aren't really interested in? What do you make yourself do because you think it means you're a good person? Ooh, that's a rough one right there. What do you make yourself do because you think it means you're a good person? Are there people you are involved with who deplete your energy and make you feel drained? What are you spending time on that's boring to you? How would you describe the social role you try to play? How do you hope others see you? Which of your personality traits do you try to cover up? What are you glad nobody knows about you? Woo! These questions are not, hey, it ain't for the weak. All right? It ain't for the weak or the meek. All right? Oh man. When you finish, put the piece of paper away for at least a day. Then open it up, smooth it down the middle, and compare the two sides. Are you primarily living from your true self, or is your role self dominating your life? So, what y'all about to do? Y'all about to go write about your role self versus your true self? Y'all can do it after the show. Go back, rewind, listen, pause it for every question. Pause it at every. It's gonna be perfect. It's perfect to do it when it's playback, because then you can pause it at every question and then, do the thing. Yeah, it's rough. I have not done this official exercise, but since I'm home all the time, I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. I don't have to mask myself. I don't have to be a fake version of myself to engage with people. And I'm thankful for that. So it makes it really hard for me to do it now whenever I go out. Sorry for all the yawning, y'all. I did not have caffeine today. It makes it really hard for me to do it whenever I go out. So I'm going to do this exercise too. I'm going to do it too. And yeah. Hey, depending on what the list look like, yeah, I maybe might possibly post it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I need to go through this book and do all the exercises that are actually in it, because I be reading it, but then don't come back to it. And I need to, because I need this too. All right. The next section is called Breaking Down in Order to Wake Up. Y'all ready? Let's hold hands. I'll hold your hand, and I'll hold your hand too. Let's hold hands and do this together, okay? We can get through this. We'll get through this. Let's take a breath. We'll get through this. Breaking down in order to wake up. People experience a breakdown when the pain of living in role selves and healing fantasies begins to outweigh any potential benefits. Lindsay got these one-liners that hit. Like, damn, she be hitting with them. People experience a breakdown when the pain of living in role selves and healing fantasies begins to outweigh any potential benefits. Most psychological growth exposes some distressing truths about what we've been doing with our lives. Psychotherapy and the like are aids to help us become aware of truths we already know in our bones. When you're going through a breakdown, a good question to ask is, what is actually breaking down? We usually think it's ourself. But what's typically happening is that our struggle to deny our emotional truth is breaking down. Emotional distress is a signal that it's getting harder to remain emotionally unconscious. Emotional distress is a signal that it's getting harder to remain emotionally unconscious. It means we're about to discover our true selves underneath all the story business. Okay? Your true self wants you to see what's really going on. It tries to wake you up because it wants you to stop believing that your emotionally immature parents knew what was best for you, and that creating a role self is better than being who you really are. Oh man, Lindsay made me want to read all these lines twice, and I will. Who gonna check me? Your true self wants you to see what's really going on. Your true self wants you to see what's going on. Some people call your true self your third eye. When when you awaken that consciousness, it just want all of those feelings that you get all through here that be feeling like it's choking and suffocating you. It's because your true self wants you to see what's really going on. It tries to wake you up because it wants you to stop believing that your emotionally immature parents knew what was best for you, and that creating a role self is better than being who you actually are. Who they wanted you to be is not better than being yourself. Who your parents needed you to be so they can deal with parenting because they didn't deal with their childhood or whatever. Who your parents want you to be is not who you actually are, unless they supported you being who you actually are. But if you had to create a role self to survive your household, that it's not better than being who you actually are. It's not better than being who you actually are. Welcome in. We are reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Your true self wants you to stop believing that your emotionally immature parents knew what was best for you, and that creating a role self is better than being who you are. It knows better than to let a fantasy run your life. Developmental psychologist Jean Piaget, I don't know. Jean Piaget or Jean Piaget. I'm going to say Jean Piaget. Observed that in order for people to learn anything new, their old mental pattern must break up and rework itself around the new incoming knowledge. The process of internal breakdown and accommodation is key to continuing intellectual development. Likewise, Polish psychiatrist Kazimierz Dabrowski, Casimir Dabrowski, I think I'm saying that right, theorized that emotional distress is potentially a sign of growth, not necessarily illness. He saw psychological symptoms as coming from a freshly activated urge to grow, and coined the term positive disintegration to describe times when people break down inside in order to reorganize into more emotionally complex beings. Dabrowski noticed that some people were able to expand their personalities as a result of these upheavals, while others soon slipped back into where they'd been before. He observed that psychologically unaware people weren't likely to change much after an emotional upheaval. Other people, however, seemed to take periods of distress as opportunities to learn about themselves, meeting challenging emotional conditions with curiosity and a desire to learn from them. Okay? We're learning. Dabrowski felt that these people had a developmental potential that pushed them toward becoming more competent and autonomous. Dabrowski believed that individuals who can tolerate negative emotions tend to have the highest developmental potential, and saw negative emotions as the driving force behind much of human psychological development, since the discomfort of these feelings those words are reversed, can cause the discomfort of these feelings can motivate. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I just want to make sure I'm reading this sentence correctly. Dabrowski believed that individuals who can tolerate negative emotions tend to have the highest developmental potential, and saw negative emotions as the driving force behind much of human psychological development, since the discomfort of these feelings can motivate, I think it's saying, the discomfort of these feelings can motivate ambitious people to find solutions. Instead of shutting down or getting defensive when faced with difficult experiences, people with developmental potential try to discover a deeper understanding about themselves and reality. To this end, they're willing to engage in self-reflection, even if this entails painful self-doubt. Although the uncertainty inherent in this process of self-examination can create the byproducts of anxiety, guilt, or depression, tackling these deep questions ultimately yields a stronger, more adaptive personality. So basically what I'm gathering is that if you are experiencing a lot of emotional distress, that is not necessarily a sign that things are breaking down and that things are falling apart. It's a sign that you're ready for change. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. So the changes are going to happen in your life. So whether you do the internal changing and internal growing, that's up to you, but life is going to change, and your mental state and your true self, I'm just going to say your true self, is reacting to the changes that are happening in your life. I feel like, and this is just my own, coming from my own brain, I feel like our true selves kind of lie in wait for us to be ready. And when they see a sliver of opportunity, when they see a moment where it's just like, I think I can get them to see it. I think I can get them to see it. I think I can get them to I think I can make the connection. They will toss, your true self will toss you out there and be like, fly, come on, let's do it. You know? And I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like, I feel like our true selves just wait for the opportunity for a freaking crack, you know, in the egg so that it can come out, you know? And that emotional distress that you're feeling and experiencing, it's not that everything's falling apart. It's that everything's coming together. You just have to break free of the things that are holding you back and holding you down. And that's not easy, but that's why you have my show. That's why you have therapy. That's why you have books like this. That's why we have journals. That's why we have meditation. That's why we have prayer. That's why we have, I mean, even religion and spirituality. I'm not saying that every religion is bad or good or anything, but that's what we go to sometimes. I would say go to therapy first, let a professional tick around in there before you lean on religion wholeheartedly. But it's a place of comfort for you to get an understanding of who you are. Spirituality has rescued me in understanding who I actually am and how I'm connected to this earth and how I'm connected to this universe. But you have to use the tools. You can't just let yourself be distressed and try to figure it out on your own. If you could figure it out on your own, you wouldn't be here needing to break your true self free. If you could figure it out on your own, you wouldn't need therapy. You wouldn't be having the breakdown. You can't do this alone. And I'm not saying that like there's not stuff that you can do on your own. There's plenty you can do on your own. There's so much that you can do on your own. There's a lot of self work that you can do. However, don't be afraid to let the people that love you love you. And I'm talking about, you know which ones I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the ones that take from you, the ones that give you that cause the emotional distress. I'm talking about those ones that pour into you. And when you leave time with them, when y'all leave each other, y'all both feel filled by sharing space with each other and exchanging energy with each other. You know? And I keep saying, you know, but there's no one that can respond to me. But yeah. I'm going to read this last section and then we will pick up tomorrow. So I'm going to read Aileen's story. My client Aileen found support and validation in Dabrowski's ideas. An insightful woman, she had benefited greatly from psychotherapy over the years. Her love of learning made her want to understand herself and other people, but her family saw that kind of psychological interest as a sign of maladjustment. When Eileen sought therapy after a very destructive love affair, her family thought she was being ridiculous and labeled her the sick one. That's not nice. Rather than seeing that Aileen was using her emotional pain, excuse me, I should have had that coffee when they told me to. Rather than seeing that Aileen was using her emotional pain as a tool for growth and self understanding, they wondered why she was wasting so much time and money rehashing the past. Aileen knew she was doing the right thing by coming to therapy, but worried that maybe she was the sick one in the family. At one level, she knew better based on her awareness of her parents' immaturity, impulsivity, and avoidance of emotional intimacy. But it's pains, growing pains, yes. And once she knew about Dabrowski's growth theory, she felt proud of herself for being the only person in her family willing to explore her distress in order to find a healthier way of being. If you are the only person in your family that's doing it, that's doing the work, be proud of yourself. I know that our families may ostracize us and isolate us for for digging into our brains, but it's because they're afraid. It's because they're afraid to dig into their brains and find out that they've gone this far. They've gone 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years of their life without being themselves. They're afraid of that. Don't don't let their fear rule you. Don't let their fear and their immaturity change you from being your true self. By the end of this book, we're going to be the us is us that we can possibly us. All right, y'all. That's all I got. I don't have no more. I gotta go finish cooking because I still got some other things I need to cook and I still got some other stuff I need to do. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Um, like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Miss Taylor Said anywhere that's social media for the most part. If you look up Miss Taylor Said, I'm there, so you can follow me there. I hope that y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. See y'all tomorrow, Facebook.